Hey, good evening, everybody. Happy Friday night watch chat night. It's Friday, and to borrow Joe Cho saying TGIF. I know it's not his, but he always says it, so I think it's nice. Amin, how are you, my friend?
Very good,
How
Rob.
you doing?
Yep. How's it going?
Good. Good.
My
Whoa.
Body fat
oh yeah,
permanently
All right.
in just one visit.
something's playing. Who is
Something's
that?
playing. I don't know.
Oh,
I think
I
it's
still hear it.
Is it like
Is that
radio
you, Chess? Is that you,
interference?
Chess?
It's not me.
Okay.
I did hear it.
My whole family's telling me, "Don't be late. Don't be late." Bobby Legs,
Yeah. Oh,
get ready.
so they don't watch, do they?
My Philip, watches. Yeah. Everybody else is like, just a fan,
Yeah.
just a Bobby Legs fan.
Well, that's that. I'll take it. I'll
Yeah.
take it. What do you got on wrist today?
Wearing my Parmigiani.
Oh,
My-
because you posted a picture. on
My
that.
Oh yeah, I
giant
saw that. It looks
Parmigiani.
nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Chaz, what's up, man?
Howdy. Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. You know what I noticed? We have like all our bases covered in the States. So we have the east, the northeast, with Amin and I. Chaz kind of central, right? And then or more central than anybody here. And then Roz out west. I like that. We got a nice little flavor here. Chaz, what are you wearing on wrist tonight?
I've got the Seiko SNR 049,
Oh, yeah.
the Sky.
Yep.
So
And that's spring
Beauty.
dry
That's
too.
nice.
Very nice.
love it.
That's a nice watch.
Rob, man, how you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah.
Doing good. Glad it's Friday.
Glad
3-day
it's-
weekend. I'm like, oh, I freaking need it.
Your
Yes.
cat is so chilled out back there. Look at that.
Oh yeah,
Just-
that's his
just
favorite
pause.
spot.
Stretching,
Yeah.
just lamped out over the post.
See,
That's awesome.
My cat is not that chill. He'll just come up here and just like stare at my face. You know what I mean? And just like walk back and forth, walk away.
Getting mad dogged.
Yeah. It's like he's bananas. Before we came on live, Rob was telling, the weather, it cooled down a little bit. It's down to 103, 104. And we were like, whoa, that's
Wow.
cool, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, 117.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's brutal.
it's a world of difference, man.
Totally.
Mm.
Totally. Hey, you're not originally from California, right? Are you from?
Oh no, I'm from New York
East-
City.
New York City. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
so it's a. I mean, so a hot New York City day, how that feels because of the concrete, right? I mean, that like
Yeah, it
it's
never
brutal.
it never cools off because the heat's just emanating.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the subways under that, and you get the
Oh,
heat from that. And just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Just it takes forever to cool off.
So
What's
what
a
would you?
subway?
What was that?
What's a subway?
Oh,
The
un-
trains that run
train-
underground subway
train.
system.
No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding, guys.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm not that far south.
No, it's a place where you buy sandwiches.
Oh man, I used
Yeah.
to hate getting up to commute to work in the subway on a super hot summer day.
brutal.
When you gotta
Nightmare.
And if you got
rush
into a
in there,
train, and if you got
pack
in a train,
into
where-
a train, can't sit.
and if you got into a train where the air conditioning wasn't working,
Yep.
that's even worse. You know what I mean? So the
Very
subway,
common.
is hot,
Yep.
and then when the train comes, it pushes that hot air.
Right.
Ugh.
Right.
But so
Absolutely.
Russ, so what would you rather have? Would you rather have that heat that you're in California or the New York heat?
I much prefer this Southwest. I will take this any day of the week because there's no humidity.
Mm.
You know, there's like it's the humidity is so low that if you were to spill a glass of water on your shirt, just wait 10 minutes, dry.
Yeah.
In New York, you spill a glass of water on your shirt in July. Yeah, that shirt's wet all day.
You're wet all day.
All day.
Just a
all day,
soggy
so-
human.
So you sweat, but it dries up really fast.
Yeah.
So
What do you got on wrist tonight, Rob?
I'm still rocking the watch that I was supposed to sell a long time ago, the Aquaterra Golf. So
Nice.
it's still surviving. It's a survivor. It's still here.
Is it
Sweet
because you
watch.
just have a hard time moving it?
I had a
or-
hard time
or-
wanting to sell it,
Mhm.
and then I was like, it's back and forth. I was too many second thoughts.
Yeah.
Too many second thoughts. Like when I had the Zenith Defy, I was like, hey, I got to move on from this. Like there was no second thought. I was like, okay, this watch, I love it. It's a great watch. Looks amazing. probably the best looking watch I've ever owned, but I just never bonded with it. I'm like, it's got to go.
Yeah.
It's funny how that is, right? We can make a
Mm-hmm.
decision that quickly about a watch, and then others, we feel like we
Others-
had to part with them, but it's just so hard.
You go
right?
back and forth, and you know it's a mistake going in. You're like, well, if I
Yeah.
sell that, it frees up funds for this. But
Yeah.
then you're like, man, I just can't let it go. I can't do it.
Yeah, no, I've been there. I got my. Speaking of one of these, right? It's Gerard
Oh
Perrin,
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man.
for
I
a
like that
split-
one.
Thank you. And I have it on this Erica strap, and it's really given it kind of like a second life. So I've been wearing it a lot lately. I'm gonna take it with me this weekend, and I'll wear it then too. But that watch, was untouchable, and then last year became um, on the chopping block, and Mrs. Legs put the kibosh on that, and rightfully so. And I'm glad I never got rid of it because I don't know too many people who have that watch either. So that's kind of like the nice appeal, other than just being the first luxury watch I ever bought. So I do have an appreciation for it. Let's say the hello to some people in the chat, shall we? Sansa Time, he is first today. Sam, all the way from Australia. How you doing? B-Dev is second. Young Excellency for third. Jeff, is this a knitting channel? Well, luckily for you, we will be talking about some macrame and crochet at the end
I
of the
love
show.
knitting patterns.
Yeah, that's how you relax, right, Chaz? I mean, just
It's there's not a lot to do in the Berg, so
yeah, go get on your rocking chair and just sit on the
Yeah.
porch and
Yeah.
have some cool tea and make yourself a scarf. Why not? Dan's here. Bobby's here. Football is back. Friday Night Lights. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, my college team was supposed to play last night, and they got postponed. I was pretty bummed about that because of the weather, the flooding in the area. But let's go RU tomorrow. Rutgers.
Hey,
playing
the
Temple.
Vols won last night, so
Oh, very nice. Who
we
did they
are
play?
undefeated.
Yeah.
They played I just drew a blank. It was some state school. It wasn't a big
Mhm.
opponent.
Right.
Not
Not an
Bowling Green
SEC
State.
team.
Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Maybe
Gotcha.
Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So the game
it
they
was
should have won.
Oh, they should have won.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
in the last couple of years for the Big Orange, those games weren't given.
Gotcha.
They've been really low. So
Yeah, I hear you.
for a UT fan, it was a good
It was
win.
a good sign. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Bill K's here. Rock
Bowling
the
Green,
watch.
I got it right. Thank you,
Yeah,
Justin.
Bowling
I drew a blank there.
Peter C's here. AZ Clayton. Justin, what is up? My team is winning at football. Okay. So who's playing tonight? Is it Miami, University of Miami? I don't know. These guys are in Florida, so there's a ton of schools in Florida. Time Hill's here. Hey, Sanjay's here. What is going on? Mezzanine is here. Meznine. Kevin S. Hello, ladies and gents. Hello, very, very proper of you. Jeffrey's here. What is up? Wilson. Hey, bud. Thanks for joining us. Let's see here. More. Scrolling. A lot of you guys are chatting. You guys like to chat. What's up, Ross? Sorry.
Thanks.
I'd just
Steve.
like to point out,
Yeah.
there's a guy in the chat, Romy360. When I first started my luxury watch journey, I met him because our wives were mutual friends. I met him
Oh,
at a
nice.
Christmas party.
Nice.
I was wearing an Oris Aquis, and he was wearing a Tudor Pelagos blue. And it was like, hey, I noticed it.
Oh,
And I was like,
nice.
hey, nice Tudor. He's like, oh, nice. He talked about watches. We've been friends ever since.
That's
And that
awesome.
That's great.
That was my first, I guess, pseudo luxury watch purchase was that Oris. Like that started the real journey for me.
Right.
And he was there when I was rocking it to the Christmas party
That's
about a
awesome.
mile from here. Yeah. I just saw him. I was like, wow, what the hell?
Everyday watch guys here. I would, there's just nobody around me that wears. I mean, it's either Apple Watch or I don't even know, some sort of digital watch, right? Man, I got to move back to the city. PB, what's here, Paul? How you doing, sir? Watch it, Dib. What's going on, sir? How you doing? Nefarian's here. Nefarian, I gotta you asked me a question, a comment on one of my videos. I gotta get back to you. I'm sorry, it's taking me a while. James, thanks. Yeah, love for this the Seahawk. Thank you. Scott, what's up? How you doing? Wearing a Santos tonight. Very nice. Hey, there he is, Romy. So this is your friend, Romy 360. Nice.
Yeah.
What kind of scotch you drinking, Ra?
I'm drinking actually fruit punch, but I was drinking Brookladdick, the Laddie earlier, and I'm
Very
gonna
nice.
probably return to that again. It's become my new house scotch. It replaced Balvenie Doublewood. So,
So
it's just something to keep in the decanter. You gotta have a house scotch. So
so you have a house scotch, and then you have a not
like the real scotch.
The real scotch. Okay.
You like the heavy or stuff that when
Yeah.
guests come over, you put out the house scotch, so they drink the house scotch. Like you don't want on and touching the Octomore or some Glenfiddich Snow Phoenix or something. You got to have like, okay, this is, you can have this, and it's good stuff. It's good, but it's not the other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stay away from the Talisker Distillers Edition. Just stay away from that. Have this
Yeah.
instead. So.
Yeah. Kevin asked Rutgers versus Michigan this season. Yeah, that's usually a big weekend here at the Legs household because Mrs. Legs went to UM and actually they won every game except for the first game. They met they played when Rutgers joined the Big Ten, and I took her to that game, and Rutgers won that game. So anywho, I like to point that out to her. Even though she's a big Eagles fan too, so it's just whatever. And let's finish off here. I know I got a lot of people here. Sorry if I missed you. We'll chat. Anyway, so I want to bring up a new release. We're going to talk new releases here, but I'd like to bring up one because someone in our panel is really, really interested in it. And let's bring that up. And so Sinn came out with a, they had the 103 line, and this is a new, it's called the 103 Classic. It's a 600-piece limited edition with a ceramic bezel insert. I'm not really sure how, they don't really do ceramic bezel inserts much that I am familiar with.
First time on this model.
Yeah, yeah. And Chaz, so you took the bait, huh? You like this one,
Rob? Oh man, well, I'm not very objective when it comes to Sinn. I've always been a fan.
Yeah.
I've owned several Sinn, still do. And I've owned the 103. I do own the 103, although I've got it. It's already committed to another person. Yeah, I resisted this the first couple of days it was out, and then I caught a video on it, and man, it just hooked me. I couldn't resist. So I did commit to purchase, put down a deposit. So into September, October looks like is the wait time. Be coming from Germany, so
yeah,
really excited.
No, I mean it's a good looking watch. I gotta tell you, the dimensions are pretty good. The thickness for a guy with my size wrist is on the thicker side. It's 12 millimeters, but you have a bigger wrist. That doesn't bother you, right?
It's very thick. It's the same dimensions as the standard 103. That's a sapphire sandwich.
Right.
The one with the closed case back's a little less tall, but the height is not a problem for me. It sets on your wrist perfectly. I say about Sinn like I do Seiko. It's hard to go just by paper dimensions. You really need to try it because it wears a little smaller. Thanks, man. Beans and Bezels. We've gone back and forth on this, and by the way, great insight always from him. Knows a lot about Sinn and knows a lot about watches in general. But the thing that pushed me over the edge is the finish work on the dial and the movement. It's not like any 103 certainly that I've ever seen. and just kind of fell in love with it after I saw the video, saw it live, which, it changes your, just looking at still renders of a watch. It's hard to get an idea of what it's like, but watching the video really helped me. And it's got an interesting, it's double down. The movement side not only has an open case back, it's a domed sapphire.
Wow.
on the movement as well. So really the dimensions, if you take away the double domed on both sides, it's really not all that bad.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous watch.
Yeah, very, very good looking
That
watch.
is nice.
Why
That's
did
nice.
they
Well
dome
done.
the movement side?
Pardon?
Why did they dome the movement side? Just for
I don't know.
appearance?
I guess so. I don't know what the motivation was for the making it a domed. I'm sure there's some engineering reason. Usually it would be for Zen. I don't think it was just a random, thing. But they did some extra finishing on the movement. It's their 60th anniversary, kind of their celebration watch of that. 600 pieces worldwide.
Awesome.
I went back today to visit the website, and you watch guys will know this. When you're struggling with a watch, you keep going back and looking at it, going back. And I'd made several trips to the website. I kept waiting on them to say, "Oh, you're back," And I went back, and when I clicked on, you have to click on the thing if you want to commit to putting a deposit down. And when I did, it said 14 remaining.
Wow.
In big red letters. So
they do that now.
Yeah, I thought, oh my goodness, if I'm gonna get one, I better do it.
Yeah.
Because and so I just went ahead and did it. So.
And I trust Zen when they say 14 remaining, it's 14 remaining. It's not like Doxa saying 3 left. We mean 4 left. I mean 7
You're
left.
leaving a couple of zeros off of that one. Right?
And I
I'm
went
watching
back
the
after
video.
I bought it, and it said 13 left. So I wanted to make sure they weren't fooling around. So.
That's an amazing pickup.
Yeah, very, very nice. No, so is there going to be some casualties to your collection because of this?
Yeah, I'm at the point. I had spent the last year thinning my collection. I got a couple of nice watches, so I really, for me to do that, I have to kind of, move out something else. Because I'd been trying to move down. I don't want a whole lot of watches. I just can't wear them. Really, if I get more than 8 to 10 watches, that's just way too many. So I've been trying to go down anyway, and I don't want to I try not to be redundant, so I'm probably going to I know I'm going to have to give up one of the chronographs, and I've already got the 103 committed. So the 903 may be on the way out.
Wow.
I'm going to try them both for a while because I really love the 903, but I don't really want to keep 2 chronographs. So it could be on the chopping block. It could be.
I mean, they're different enough, right?
They are. They're very different.
It could work. But I know I get it. I mean, like they're both they're probably pretty much the same size. Maybe the 903 is a hair thinner.
It is thinner.
Yeah,
couple millimeters.
But I mean that's I hear you. I struggle with having multiple chronographs. I struggle with having one chronograph in the collection. I like the idea of it, but it's hard for me to keep them.
Yeah,
So
same here.
I feel you.
Like once I got the Breguet, the Type 21, and then I looked at other chronographs, and then sometimes you get a wild hair, and it's like, wait.
Right.
Like I was looking at an Omega Speedmaster last night out of the blue. I was like, wow, look at that price. It entered the picture for about 15 minutes. And I was like, no. Because I think I used the Breguet chronograph like once every 6 months just to see if it works. Not even timing anything.
Yeah.
Oh, it's working. Look at that. Good. 2 centers. So I can't imagine having 2, even though that Sinn is gorgeous, and I would love to, but it's like,
Amin's Doc says definitely sold out now. He'll check again tomorrow. That's the running joke. Yeah, It's funny. Like Cho has multiple chronographs in his collection, right? I mean, like, and
Yeah.
he doesn't. I mean, some of them are decent size. Some of them, are fit. I mean, fit is. I mean, I would think like somebody who had like a smaller, slender wrist, like chronographs would be difficult. I know they make smaller chronographs, but I guess you just it's what you like, right? I mean, like whatever it is that you like. There's people that we know that have like 3 or 4 or 5 chronographs in their collection.
I know.
Um,
I got a friend that's all he collects. He loves that complication.
yeah,
And I I don't know if I've always been attracted to that dial layout.
yeah,
I love those subdials. It's
yeah,
not so much for me. I like the movement. I like the complication. I think it's interesting to watch. Um, I think
Mhm.
it requires a lot to put that in there. There's a lot of watchmaking skill to make a chronograph.
yeah.
Uh, but I love that layout. I love the look.
It
I've
does. Yeah.
always liked that.
Mhm.
Kevin S is saying if I didn't get a Speedy and a Seiko Panda chrono, that Zinn would have been a buy. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to like look away. Put that watch away from my mind. I mean, like I saw it now, and I didn't really. I liked it when it came out. I think it was like yesterday or 2 days ago. And but I didn't think anything of it. Then you said you picked it up, and then I started looking at it again, and I'm like, man, that's a really
Yeah.
good looking watch. That's a really
Yeah,
really good looking.
it don't watch that video. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll put the hooks in you. It did me. Of course, I'm weak. I admit it.
Right, but me too. Right here, I am weak as well. Beans and bells. I wouldn't be surprised if Duxer released 500 more that were not numbered and hid behind this wording. Only 200 number pieces will be made. That's what Grand Seiko would have done. Yeah.
He may be right.
He may be right. Chaz just out Germaned Bobby. Way to go, Chaz.
Nine.
Yeah. The heart wants what the heart wants. Oh, damn.
That's
the,
it,
Yeah,
Dan.
very true.
That's
lovely-
it, Dan.
Dan,
Especially in a watch game, that's for damn sure.
Dan's been reading some sensitive books lately. I can just tell by that. Sin can do no wrong. Absolutely. Romy 360. Yes, I love chronographs too, but all you have to do is read the time and love knowing you can time your love making. Sure.
Yeah, I just need split seconds for that.
I was trying to come up with a joke and you beat me. Yours is way better than mine. Way better. Bobby, I've abstained from a watch purchase from Memorial Day to Labor Day, 100 days on September 8th, but I may be faltering soon. Ooh,
I hear those drums beating, Bobby.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Bobby.
I've been almost 2 months without a pickup. I think July 10th was when I picked up that Sumo. So not as many days as Bobby. So, but yeah, for sure. All right, what do you say we take a look at some releases? Let me share my screen. I think we covered a lot on Tuesday. There may have been a couple that snuck in. I mean, we already took a look at this Ulysse Nardine, right? I mean, I know we took a look at it, and I've been actually looking a lot at it the last couple of days, and you kind of made fun of me yesterday a little bit, Amin, when we were talking, me and you, about this watch. But it's just really really a beautiful looking watch. This particular one right here, right, with this moon phase, just a lovely watch. I think it's retailing close around 9-ish. Back of my mind thinks maybe you can get a really good deal on these, right? I mean,
probably not immediately. You can get below retail, I'm guessing, but then if you wait a while, you could probably do really well. I love it. I think it's stunning. It's very much in their tradition. But the moon phase is beautiful. Love it.
Yeah, I mean it's appealing in a sense, like look, there's a few German independents that I like that do this kind of like deck watch,
Mm,
right, or marine kind of watch, and so that's appealing.
mm,
The fact that they're independent and whatnot, but what's nice about Uli Sardine, I mean, there's a bigger brand, right?
mm,
I they're not really going anywhere anytime soon. If they haven't fell apart already, if they haven't closed shop already, I don't think they're gonna, right? I mean,
mm,
it's they're not the most popular brand,
mm,
but they seem to stick around. And so this is why it's more. Sometimes it's just more appealing to go with something that's been around for a while than just like the hot independent that's been out for a few years, and so that's where I'm kind of at with this one.
And
And
their marine chronometer tradition is so
that
rich.
too, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And what I like about it, I know they're Swiss, but I think they originated in France. And I'm a little bit of a Francophile, so
Mm,
um, yeah, that's what I like about that. We did touch about this Octo Roma, the tourbillon, which is
mhm,
lights out. I think we all agreed
Mhm.
it was awesome.
mm,
Yeah,
The
it's
other day
nice.
Beautiful.
when we were talking about it, but Maurice Lacroix. I mean, I know this is another version of the Acon,
mm,
but they came out with this green dial
mm,
and this new the rubber strap. I really like this.
mm.
you know, I know it's divisive, but I kind of dig it. What do you guys think about this?
I normally would dislike watches like that because I'm not a big Maurice Lacroix fan.
Yeah,
But that one I do like. I don't know what it is. But there's something about it that I like that one. I wouldn't buy it, no, but I do like it.
yeah,
I don't know why it's so divisive. I think people like to hate on Maurice Lacroix, but it's people say it's a Royal Oak knockoff. It's really not. There's a lot of differences between this watch and any of the other 70s steel sports watches. It's very different looking. So,
yeah.
um,
I think the
think it's
closest
beautiful.
the closest comparison is the fact that it has an integrated bracelet.
Hmm.
yeah.
Look, I mean, but other than that,
And the
there's a
dial is the dial pattern's a little is reminiscent, right?
yeah,
Even though it
Right.
doesn't have the tapisserie, but I think it's good looking, and I like seeing that they're implementing the rubber this way. Um, yeah, I wouldn't buy it like Ra, but I like what they're doing, and I like Maurice Lacroix as a brand. So their Gravity series with the dial side balance wheels, I've always liked those.
excellent.
I like that they went with the white date there instead of color matching it because then the date runs the risk. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the
Mm-hmm.
IWC Mark 18, like that black date fits, but then on the Petite Prince with the blue dial and the white date, it kind of jumps out too much. But here it looks it fits, and I don't know, maybe it's because
Yeah,
of the bezel, with the polished accents on the bezel. That might help make it work, but it definitely works here
yeah.
more so than if it had gone green.
I agree with you, Ra. I think I agree with that for sure. Justin has held out since April. Wow, very nice. Interesting, Bovet. Yeah, we'll check that out, Nefarian, no problem. Ra, what is the name of the cat?
Oh
I
yeah,
want to know.
this is Lenore. Yeah, I'm a huge Edgar Allan Poe fan, so I got to name her because we have two other cats, and the boys got to name the other two. So it
Mhm.
was my turn. I was like, a black cat,
Lenore.
Lenore.
That's great.
Yeah.
And she's
Perfect.
very nosy, as you can tell. This is just to hang out. What's going on here?
She's been looking at the screen a few times too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
checking this out.
Kevin, the moon is not big enough for Bobby. Yeah, good point. I still like it though on this watch. I still like it.
I'm a fan. What's the price on this
On this the
Maurice
Maurice Lacroix.
Lacroix?
Let me see here. They're not that I mean, it's probably under two. I don't see a price on this one here.
Yeah.
Usually they'll show you a price.
Somebody in the chat will know it.
Yeah. But I don't know. I do like that green. I'm not a huge green color watch guy, but there's something about it that that's a fun watch. It looks like a fun watch to me. Let's get back to the chat here. UN is value for money. All right. Okay. Chaz is getting ready to strike again.
I am not. I'm gonna tell you right now. I love this watch. I would not buy it, but I think it is beautiful. I really do. I mean, you can see the offshore, the integrated, the integrated rubber.
Yeah,
a little bit, but yep. I don't see it. I don't see a too far resemblance.
Rob, can I share a screen real quick?
Absolutely, man.
So this is another watch from a company that gets a lot of crap, and I haven't seen it announced anywhere, so I just wanted to show it before I forget.
Oh, I was going to bring this up.
Oh, were you?
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the Frederique Constant. What is it? High Life World Time watch. Let me get a bigger picture, but I think the live picture is always helpful.
Wow.
This is, I guess, a render. I think this is another cool watch. This is I've got World Time on the brain right now. Been looking at the Chopard, the Omega.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much the Bulgari because I've got this one watch per brand rule for myself, but otherwise I'd be looking at that one too. And I'm inching closer and closer to. Kevin is the one who mentioned this and got me looking for it. And I think Kevin's looking at World Time watches too. So I'm interested for sure.
What it's they don't have they have an in-house movement, right? But it's not on this, is it?
It is.
Right?
They have. So that's another cool thing about Frederique Constant. I'm probably going to get mocked mercilessly, but they've got a lot of in-house complications, and World Time is one of the older ones. So not only is this in-house, but it's proven over quite a long period of time to be reliable in-house movement. Yeah, like I'd say close to 10 years they've had an in-house World Time.
I mean, it's a good-looking watch. I got to be honest with you. I do like
nice.
Stylistically, it looks great.
Why do you think, Amin, that Frederique Constant gets such a? I mean, is it just because of the name? Just because of the they're new, or maybe they're not so new, but is it because of the perception of them using the name, trying to front be something they're not?
I think it's partially the name. I think there's also a bias just for relatively newer companies just get biased. Like Maurice Lacroix is founded in the mid 70s, and just because they didn't grab the name of a company that's 200 years old, there's bias against them. So
it's that, and I think also when Citizen bought them out years ago, that only added to it. And what was funny was when Citizen bought them, there was a whole thing with people like, oh, they're going to ruin Frederique Constant, they're going to ruin it. And these were the same people that before that were like, Frederique Constant, what are you even buying that for? But when Citizen buys them now, it's a problem, So it's a lot of hypocrisy going on.
Kevin brought up a good point. This is what I was going to bring up, something to this effect. That they also get a bad rap because they produce too many low-end watches, quartz, gold-plated, etc. I think that's where a lot of it comes from too. They have a big their catalog has a huge range in
Seiko
prices.
does that though.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of companies do that.
No, true. Seiko's almost, I would say, almost treated differently than all the other brands, right? It's Seiko and then almost like other brands, So they get a pass, and maybe, and to your point, not rightfully so. I mean, but they just seem to get a pass.
Amin, do you know the price on that world timer with the integrated bracelet from Frederique Constant?
I think it was, let's see, it's on this website, 5,500 Canadian.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so it's like
Yeah.
$20 US. No, it's probably like around like $4,000 or $5,000. That's pretty good.
It's not bad at
Well,
all.
you could
Yeah.
probably get that at a 25% discount easily.
Yeah.
So I'd say you could get that for under $4 easily, and that's a crazy good deal on a world timer complication. I mean, it looked like good finishing on it.
Yeah, solid.
Paul's saying they get a lot of things right that should check the boxes for enthusiasts. They are derivative and maybe their distribution and brand name. World timers are really good when it shows the sun moving around the dial. Gives you a view of the real world time. Excuse me. Just over 4K. Swiss companies don't, and many consumers won't touch Japanese. Sanjay, I feel Seiko like still gets a bad rap on the higher end because of their entry level watches. I think there's some truth to that. High end Seiko, yeah. And I hear many people saying good things about the High Life series. So you may have a winner there, Amin. Would you consider this?
I feel like I'm close to it, but it's not all the way there for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not a bracelet guy, and there's only so many integrated sports watches that I would want to have, but it's getting. Frederique Constant keeps inching closer to where I want one. They're not all the way there yet, but it's another step in that direction.
Well, you brought them up a few times, so I think there are brands that people should maybe give a shot. I think they get a bad rap. I think probably undeserved, a lot of it. So, they're not going to be one of those hype brands, but that may be what draws me to something, them. I think I like brands that other people kind of dismiss, and that kind of makes it more attractive to me.
Yeah.
All right. Let's bring Guilloche back to the streams. We kind of like took a little break from Guilloche. We're talking a lot of Guilloche on our streams lately, Amin. So, we got a new little Bovet release here, and this is a beaut, I would say. Very interesting Guilloche patterns here on a sub-second and on this dial here, and then I think it looks like you got a power reserve over here. Very, very cool. I really dig this where the crowns are on some of these Bovet watches. Yeah. I know other brands do that too. Get that pocket watch feel, of course. Yeah. Is Bovet Bovet in any of our futures? I mean, great looking watch. I mean, look, this one is really expensive, of course, but I feel like deals can be made on Bovet, especially pre-owned.
Yeah, they're great watches, but I just can't pull it off.
Yeah.
If I wore that, people were like, "Who do you think you are?" I just could not do it. Yeah, exactly. I need a beret and a pipe to pull it off. I can't do it. It's a lovely watch, though. And the company, forget about it. They're top of the line. So
yeah.
I feel exactly the same way. It's just on the other side of the line of what I can possibly pull off. I mean, it's also super expensive. Like I'm not spending in that price range, but even if it were affordable to me, somehow it's a little too far even for me. Like, and I've got freaking ostrich leg Parmigiani on with red stitching on, and this is just a shade too far for me.
A bridge too far.
Bridge too far. But but you're interested in Jacques Dro, right?
I am.
And sometimes when I look at Bovet and Jacques Dro, I could see some of the similarities. And Wilson brought up the snowman.
That's
could see it.
probably exactly my line. Is right between Jacques Dro and Bovet.
Okay, all right, we found it.
You exactly pointed to the line.
Okay, all right. I should have led you there a little bit.
It's a good movie. Bridge Too Far.
Great movie.
The Eagle Dial Jacques Dro. It is the business dress. Did you know that I like that one? I wonder if you just said that or if you actually like it, but it is the business. I do like that one. Let's stick here with monochrome. I want to talk about this one, and a couple of people I know have been talking about this one lately. This new Loris Sports for Good blue ceramic. What do you guys think about this one?
Doesn't work for me. I have the standard Mark 18, but I don't know. It's I guess it's the color. I just can't get into blue ceramic, and then the blue. And I don't know. Is that the blue leather strap that they always? Oh no, it's a canvas.
Yeah, it looks like some sort of
kind of a hybrid rubber and nylon.
Yeah, it looks like rubber inside.
It's just too much blue. I'd pass on it. Yeah.
So a couple guys had mentioned the date window kills this watch. Let's zoom in here a little bit. It looks like it's a little too in, right?
Yeah, I think it sits just about at that length on the Mark 18 too, but this is a little smaller. Is it 39 millimeter or is it bigger? No, sometimes ceramic you have to go bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I'd go get it, but it's locked up. It'd take me 10 minutes to get back and get it. But I don't know. It's something off about it. I can't tell. I don't know. It might be the crown.
Yeah.
You look at all the blue, and then bam, you got the stainless crown. So
my guess is this may look different live.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure these renders give it the best view for us, and I've seen other colors of this ceramic material that look better than that shade of blue. That by these renders, it almost looks looks cheap, kind of.
Yeah,
that's just if I was looking at this
that's
watch,
what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it just, and I know if you saw it in hand, it probably would look very different. Maybe it would look much more like a watch that is worth what the price would be.
Yeah.
Looks very plain to me too. I mean, I know. Look, I mean, it's a pilot watch, right? I get it. And maybe it has something to do with the blue case and the blue dial, and all being one color pretty much. But not necessarily a big fan of this one.
No. Yeah, I think Chaz is right. You see it in the flesh. Maybe it's one of those.
Yeah.
And that's happened to me before. I'm like, what the heck? Date just, are you crazy? Then I see a Wimbledon, and I'm like, oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. So,
hey, Thomas, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Kevin agrees with Chaz. Time Hill with Chaz. Navy watch down, point down, thumbs down, like most people would say. It is very blue, extremely boring. I've seen that blue ceramic in person. It pops and looks much better. Photos do not help it. It could be one of those.
I'd say Clayton is onto something there. I think this is one of those watches that if you saw it in hand, you would probably think it looks better. Not saying you'd get it, but the date window does seem like it's out in the middle of the dial a little too much.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And that's what Bruce, the man Lee, is saying. 41 millimeter and too small movement puts
That's a 41. Ooh,
it's a big watch. It's all dial too.
Yeah, exactly. It's might be a little too much.
Wirefish
mine
watch.
is a 40. No.
Paul bringing up a good point. why are official watch picks so bad? Some of
Yeah,
them are.
I don't
Some of
know.
them really are.
Grand Seiko's the worst, I think. Sometimes they put the pictures that just make the watch look horrible, and then you see live pictures and it transforms it. So
Yeah, or even pictures from Instagram with owners, and it's like, oh my god, things freaking
right,
absolutely beautiful with watches that
right,
I've hated. So
right.
Any releases this week or recently that have really popped in your mind, guys? That you would consider, you know, I mean, other than the Zinn 103 with Chaz. Anything there, Ra?
yeah, the and I know you guys went over it in the other stream, the Moser perpetual calendar streamliner,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was looking at like what we talked about last week with the Moser Heritage Pioneer Center Seconds Funky Blue Dial. So I was like chasing after that for my 50th.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always wanted a streamliner, like always. I remember the first video I saw. Of course, Tim Massa was involved. So I saw that video. I remember what I was doing when I saw the video. It was like the Challenger thing. So it's like you just remember where you were, and it's man, it's a gorgeous watch. And it kind of faded away, and then time goes on, get into the game a little more, and arrive at this point where I want the funky blue heritage. And then in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you should always go for what you really want and not something else in the same range that looks nice. You have to go for what you really want. So I'm thinking maybe I should just save and go for that streamliner. And then right when I'm thinking that, Moser comes out with this perpetual, which, even though I don't want, because it's just too much work. Perpetual. I'm a lazy man. I'm not going to perpetual. So that just pushed me right back into going after either the limited edition streamliner or the blue one that just came out. So I've been hunting those down and checking prices on those. And those prices are astronomical for me. But I'm like, hey, you save enough, you want it bad enough, make a couple sacrifices, you can get it. So I'm thinking of just holding off and going for the streamliner, probably the blue. So that pushed me over the edge there.
Yeah. Yeah.
If Moser hadn't put out that perpetual calendar, I would have been 100% on board with the Center Seconds heritage. But
yeah,
that's out now. Yeah, now I'm going for
right? It's like what Mike Tyson says. Yeah,
everybody's got the fence.
Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? What Tyson said. You know what I mean?
My perpetual calendar punched me straight in the mouth twice. So now I'm looking at that, and I'm probably going to just shoot for that. I'm happy with what I have now, and I can wait. So
yeah. Do you have any favorite releases?
I really like this Longines that just came out. Or Longines. I can always pronounce the S at the end by mistake. But
do you want me to share?
I could do it. And it annoys me a little bit that it's getting so much praise. Like this Hodinkee article just said, did they release the best pilot's watch of the year? But I think it's just a really good looking, another winner from Longines Heritage. Actually, the only thing that bothers me a little bit is the same thing that bothers me about that ceramic IWC is that, I know that this red tip seconds hand is like on a lot of watches and it's a very old thing and it makes it more viewable. I just am it's just a quirk. It's my own mental thing that I'm kind of sick of those red tip seconds hands. But everything else about this watch, I'm a fan. I think they really, by taking the date window off, and it's just a winning design.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's like really it's nice. Kind of on the cusp between a field. I'd say they called it a pilot's watch. I'd say maybe a field watch, but who cares like what you call it? It's just a great everyday watch. I'm sure the price is going to be reasonable. It's got a history in their catalog, but it looks modern. It looks current too. It doesn't look overly, vintageized,
right.
Whatever.
Yeah, they didn't go overboard. Yeah, it's a good looking watch.
It's
I saw somebody making the joke that they put the review right on it, the number of stars, like the Amazon review.
Nailed it.
But I'm pretty sure that comes from their catalog too. And a little flourish is, is I don't have any problem with that. I think it's a sweet watch.
yeah,
I
again
like
and
this
again,
one.
man. Yeah, again and again, Longines comes. Man, they just dip into that vintage collection of theirs, and they release or re-release these things, and they're knocking it out of the park.
They made it in both 40 and 42.
Yeah.
It's 12 millimeters thick. It's titanium, grade 5 titanium, so very scratch resistant titanium. 100 meters water resistant. It's a great all rounder. 72-hour power reserve.
Wow.
Starting at 2650.
COSC
Oh,
certified.
wow.
Yep. Silicon balance springs, so highly anti-magnetic.
Jeez.
I'm a fan.
What was
The
the
lug,
price
the
again on
lug
that?
was pretty long, wasn't it?
The lugs are long. That's a Longines thing. Yeah, the lugs are long. It's 2650
On the 40 millimeter
on a
base.
strap. 40 on a strap.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the lugs are always long on these Longines, but they
That's
almost
part of
never
its-
actually overhang. If you do this view, they almost never
Mhm.
overhang. It's when you look
Yeah.
close at it straight on, that's where people get wiggly about them.
Varian's going to AD tomorrow, and hopefully they'll have a 40 to check out. Yeah, please do report. That'd be awesome.
So the 40 Hodinky says the lug to lug is around 49 millimeters.
Okay,
That's not bad.
that's not bad.
Yeah, the Mark 18 40 millimeter, and the lugs are, I think, 50 on that. So
The 42 would probably be like 51 or 52, and that's like if you go like and I'll use like a brand like Dornbluth as a reference, and they use in their more base models a 6498. That's typically what their sizing is, like a 42, 52. A lot of those brands who repurpose the 6498, the pocket watch movement, into the movements is usually it's a 42, 50 or 42, 50, 52. From my experience, anyway, my observing that. Yeah, good looking watch. Again, Longines keeps on knocking it out of the park. It's harder and harder to make an excuse not to have one in the collection for me. I mean, there's super good looking watches,
Mhm. Yeah.
the big eye, chrono, those flagship watches, the sector dial watch, just great looking stuff.
Big eye,
Yeah.
the big eye.
Yeah,
Well,
especially that blue dial one too.
What I mean,
nice.
Longines is not. They're not doing this exclusively, but they seem to do it as well as anybody. That retro look is so it's so prevalent, so popular. Why do you think that is? Why are those? Why is that period of time? Is it because the age of the people are buying these, or reminiscing, or what is it? Because so
I
many
don't know.
companies, are going to retro divers, retro chronographs, like this retro pilot watch.
I think
And
they're
it has to be. There's so many are doing it. It has to be a reason.
I think they're checking into that market of people that like that look, but don't like the retro sizes. Because you look at those retro re-releases, they're all 40, 41, 42, 43 in some cases. So they know that there's a market for that. And I'm totally in that market. Almost everything I have outside of like the Aquaterra is something that is retro inspired. That's a scaff. Yay. So they're like, they know there's a market for that, and they say we could re-release these, bump it up a few millimeters, and we can tap into that market that always says, hey, I love that retro look, but I don't love that retro case size. So
Yeah. or and I don't want to deal with an old movement, right? So like I want
Right.
a modern movement.
Yeah.
Mezzine, I think Mezzine has here timeless design. So they're
Maybe
timeless
that's
designs.
it.
It's like so it's like Hollywood, right? I when I mean I might be wrong, but when was the last time there was like an original movie? It's all remakes. It's all the same
Hmm.
story with different,
Mhm.
but a different characters. They they um, they they redo movies. That Total Recall has been redone. Like these movies, they get redone. The same Avengers movies, like every time, it's always the same kind of thing, the same kind of fight. So there's no new movies in my opinion. So maybe new watch designs are appeal to some, but the the bigger the bigger group likes that vintage look. I don't know. Um, I like that vintage look with modern specs, like you mentioned, raw, and having
Yeah.
the newer movements. Um, my Black Bay 58, very retro looking. I like it. I try to. It's funny because I try to shy away from that stuff, right?
Mhm.
Um, but I keep on going back to that look because it's
Well,
timeless.
don't you think guys like us who love mechanical watches, that's retro to start with. I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about a retro technology. Uh, I mean, there's some companies that have some modern uh, pieces to that machinery, but that's a technology that's been around a long time.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so we're already, I think people who are drawn to mechanical watches already like uh, that retro. If we wanted modern, we'd go with Apple or
Yeah.
one of those
Yeah.
connected watches.
Yeah.
God forbid. So
But then you have like some awesome modern designs like the streamliner, right? I mean that's just like fantastic, right? I mean,
well, yeah, and I
you
think
know,
there's some of that too. I think
yeah,
that's part of the eclectic thing. Some of
yeah,
that stuff is Moser does that so well.
yeah. Scott saying Breguet uses old Longines in house. They purposely hurt the brand in favor of Omega. Appalachian Trail Part 2. It's laziness. Could be laziness. Could be just
That's a good way
they
to look
got
at
it.
it.
They got it right. Back in the day. Wearing a watch is retro in itself. Orange hand, echoing what um, Chaz was saying there.
That's true.
They do that because movies have to make all their money on the release. No more DVD sales. PT Cruiser versus 4GT. You can get very wrong or very right. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
great. That's a great statement there.
That's uh, the iconic vintage designs with modern components is a winning combination. Absolutely.
It is. It
Yes,
is.
yes,
Yeah.
but what if quartz never happened? Laurent Ferrier, and you have to pay for it. LOL. Okay. After 70 years of watches, what is left that makes a modern watch unless you want to pay 60K or more? Uh, Caliber will take a PT Cruiser.
Hmm.
All
Yeah.
right,
With vintage
gents.
watches. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. You
No,
got-
no, 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 no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say with vintage watches, the one thing that scares me off from them because I've always wanted a vintage Navitimer with the
Oh yeah,
806
yeah,
movement,
yeah.
hand winding. Be nice to have one Vietnam era 67, 68. Yearly, my wife and I visit this beach up in Big Sur called Pfeiffer Beach. And when it's calm, it's very nice. But most of the time, it's extremely windy. The sand is blowing sideways. There's water and mist. And I almost bought a vintage Navitimer. And I went to that beach, and I was thinking, like, man, if I had bought that vintage Navitimer that had failed several pressure tests, I'd be in a bad way right now. So now I have a thing like, can the watch survive Pfeiffer Beach or not?
Yeah,
Yes or no? And
yeah,
that's the governing thing. The watch has to be able to survive a trip there for
yeah,
me to purchase it, which pretty much rules out everything vintage.
yeah,
Well, like seriously vintage.
yeah,
My
yeah,
Omega
yeah,
did fine there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fiero is fun. Also a death trap. My best friend had a Fiero, and it was scary at times. It was scary. Yeah, if you get rear-ended, you're done in that car.
Yeah,
Because
mid-engine.
the engine was back there too.
Yep. It's
And it
all
was
over.
like it was like this. It was like right by your ear. Anyway, well, gents, pushing at 10 o'clock. Great chat tonight. Enjoyed you guys coming on. You guys are the best. Ra and Chaz answering the call. With a few hours to spare. I really do appreciate that.
It's always a pleasure. Always.
Amin,
Yeah.
what do you got?
Good
What
to
do you
see
got going?
guys.
What do you got going on this weekend? What do you got?
Gonna
Holiday weekend.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
No.
Kids have their activities. Nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy. Chaz, anything fun at the Berg?
No, you can just reach me at chazfromtheberg.gov. If you want to, follow me, you can check out on my website. Glad to have anybody check in. You can subscribe to my podcast there. So, chazfromtheberg.gov. I don't like to promote myself, so
Right.
you know.
Rob, what do you got this weekend? Hopefully the air conditioner.
Oh man, it's a busy work week coming up. Next 2 weeks is going to be very busy, so that start planning for it on a 3-day weekend. So it's like, okay, we gotta do this
That's
day,
a bummer.
this that day.
Yeah.
So and then I'm going to be out of town in a couple of weeks. So let's start looking at that. So yeah, the break is welcome, but I'm gonna be working through it. So we'll see.
That's a bummer, man. Guys, tomorrow I have a video coming out. Mrs. Legs opening her. I guess for her it was her grill watch. So check that out.
It's awesome.
For her birthday, she got a watch, and she was very, very excited.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Legs.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Well, I mean, it's not until the 19th, but anyway.
Happy early birthday.
Early birthday. Thank you, guys. And chat, thank you for participating. You guys are awesome, and we'll see you guys next Friday. Take care.
Good night, guys.
Hey, take care, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Yeah.